Could you tell them what sort of a person you are?
I don't know at all. I just live moment to moment. So you cannot confine me into a personality. You cannot define me. You cannot predict me. I don't know even myself what I am going to do tomorrow morning. I am simply as open as the existence and as indefinable as the existence itself.
What's up, guys? Welcome back again. God damn, I cannot even describe how excited I am today. My guest here that I have with me, I can only really describe as a serial entrepreneur extraordinaire. And I don't even know if that's enough words to really do it. So, your first time on this podcast, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm just going to kind of give you a few little things, and then we'll get rolling. This is unscripted, unedited, so be careful what you say.
You got it.
Because the whole fucking world is about to know you inside and out.
You got it.
That being said, there's no rules here, so say whatever you want. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let you give yourself a nice little intro, and then if I feel like there's pieces that were missed, I'll go ahead and fill them in.
All right, solid.
So,
Hey.
Who are you?
I'm Lynn Holly. I like to refer to myself as an entrepreneurial powerhouse.
Oh my God, see, I knew there wasn't enough words to describe it. All right, entrepreneurial, serial.
And it's primarily because I am overly ambitious. I like to start new businesses and go for it, and if they don't succeed and I fail, then I keep on trying. And I kind of dive and expand into other things, and yeah, learned a lot, keep growing. It's awesome.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that was quick.
Super fast.
For all the things, I took like 10 minutes to describe that to my tech kid before, like, how can I describe, like, what is an entrepreneur? First of all, you have skills for things, you have passions for things, and you're good at taking those and turning them into something that you could make into a lifestyle.
Right.
And I think that's an amazing trait. I think that's an amazing quality, an amazing skill for somebody to have. I think kind of if you sort of think about the American dream, that is it.
Yeah.
Right? Do what you want. Make money from the things that you're already passionate about.
Exactly. And you're more likely to become more successful if you're passionate about what you're doing anyway.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. I try to tell people, like, man, because I have two jobs right now. First of all, while we're here, shouts out to Blackjack Pizza. Okay, job number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and take that shouts out and go the opposite direction and say I'm not very fucking passionate about pizza. I do this because I have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's money that I need, and it helps remind me and ground me into, like, you know what? My other job, being a personal trainer, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited to go to work every day, and I'm trying to take a page out of your book, so to speak. We'll get to that, but and take that passion that I have for training and helping people and making it into something that I can turn into my livelihood.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I didn't bring you here to teach me all those things. That's just going to be like a side effect of what happens.
I mean, I think you already know a lot of this stuff anyway.
I mean, maybe, hopefully, we'll see. But something to be said about the importance of waking up and not hating what you're about to do that day.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I worked in hospitality for like 10 years, and that was rough.
Really?
Yes.
Just tell me a little bit about that. Was that changing bedpans?
Oh, no. In the hotel, like, you kind of can work in every department if you want.
Hotel. Okay.
Yeah, I
well,
worked
you
for the
seem
Marriott.
pretty hospitable. Like, naturally.
Yeah, naturally, I think I probably was more hospitable than I am now.
Okay.
But
it wears on you. You get
really
tired of
does.
it. Like, damn.
It really does.
Okay.
But I learned a lot. and I expanded on my skill set of customer service and helping people and understanding their problems and how to address those problems.
Yeah.
And I can implement that into present day passions that I have.
Cool.
So obviously it was not my favorite, but it was fine.
Hey, you know, sometimes we have to learn things
Exactly.
in a manner that it teaches us through pain.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
So, you know, like my pizza was working in the hotels.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like
But
that.
then, you know, hit some health issues in like 2016, 2017 and pivoted to health and wellness and got certified in body pump and
Nice.
personal training and all that jazz, nutrition.
So
health.
speak to that a little bit. You
Yeah.
had some health issues and you decided to get into lifestyle changes for yourself.
Yep.
To make yourself healthier and,
Yeah.
and sort of mend what was going on with you.
Yeah, 100%.
And you were like, fuck, I like this. I
Yeah.
want other people to experience this.
100%.
Okay, cool.
It's like tapping into this entirely different area of life to
Yeah.
help others because, you know, what's the goal for people, right? Longevity, being able to play with their kids and
Yeah,
feel
quality
good.
of life.
Yeah, quality of life, sleeping good, feeling good, looking
Yeah.
good, whatever it is. And changing your nutritional habits and your exercise habits, that does that.
100%.
So I was like diving in and then, you know, opened up my gym and then COVID hit.
Fuck COVID. We say that right now.
8 months later. So
Hey,
I was,
but that's-
you know, deemed non-essential. And I was salty for a little bit because McDonald's was open, but
Yeah.
my gym couldn't
No.
stay open.
Well, you need hamburgers, but you don't really need to work out.
I guess.
Right.
You gotta have those fries and
It's, you
the
know,
shake.
you're so right though, because it is something I think that I can empathize with the way you're feeling. When you feel something that changes you, some people want to pass that on.
Yeah.
You know, and even for me, like 99% of people when they're telling me I don't feel good or I'm feeling this, I'll just ask them like, have you drank any water today? Because it's such a fucking easy trick.
So
You know what I
true.
mean? And
Yep.
when I learned that for myself, I was like, holy shit, hydrating properly is a game changer.
Yeah. Makes
Like,
a
how
huge
can I
difference.
not? How can I hold on to that for myself and keep it from people
Right.
when it makes such a big difference?
Exactly.
You know, and I love that.
Yeah.
I
exactly.
love doing that, and I think you do too.
Oh, absolutely.
You're just better at doing it on a larger scale, I think.
I don't know about that, but
Well, I mean, you got your books, and we're going to talk about your books. But before we talk about your books, I'm going way back to the beginning here.
You got it.
You said Lynn, and then you said Lynn Holly.
Yeah.
What? I'm not asking you for your government name, but what do you like to go by?
My legal name is Lynn Holly.
Okay, Lynn Holly. Is that what you like to go by? Like, what's up,
My
Lynn Holly?
LH.
LH.
Lynn. Some people call me Lolly.
Okay.
Hollywood.
So there's no wrong way for me to address you, really.
Hey, you.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that. But Lynn
I'd still be like, what's
Holly.
up?
Lynn Holly, the problem that I have is in order to make these episodes somewhat digestible,
Yeah.
I try to keep them like roughly 20 to 30 minutes.
You got it.
And so the challenge that is imposed upon me at that juncture is how do I convey or illustrate how amazing of a person you are in that short of a time? And the answer is simply, I can't. I can't do that. So we're going to stick to the main things because eventually towards the end of this podcast, as you'll see as I got this cup, you might have already known about it because you got an even bigger cup. And I can't,
Blessings
I'm not
from the
legally allowed to tell you guys what's in there. So I'm not going to, but let's just say it's a big cup. And
Glitter, primarily.
and so you know eventually where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
She's seen a few episodes. I do appreciate
Most all of them, actually.
I really, appreciate. You're a really good guest in that sense, doing research. I feel like a good interviewer should do research on who they're interviewing.
Yeah.
You flipped it on me. You're like, I'm gonna research my motherfucking interviewer.
I was like, did you read my books?
If
Are you going to ask me
hit
some quality
with anything-
questions?
All right, so chapter 3, all right, page 9. I just
You
don't
got it.
think
Which
you
one?
spelled this word right. I'm just kidding. I'm waiting for the audiobook to come out.
I'm going
I
to figure
can't-
that out.
I really can't read very, very well.
I'm going to figure that
I mean, I
out.
can read fine. I just don't,
I got you. I got you.
But while we're here, let's talk about these. So you talked about you started a gym.
Yeah.
Bam. Entrepreneurial powerhouse. God, I like that. Good job on that. So we got right here, book 1. Is this your first book?
Yeah.
Okay, first book ever written. The Fitness Entrepreneur 5 steps to be fucking successful at everything that you do in life. And this is on Amazon. You can find it on Amazon. Bam, there's the link right there. Edit. And yeah, tell me a little bit about this.
Awesome. So this basically just goes through the basic steps and strategies in opening up your own gym. And it's not just like fluff. That's why it's so short, right? So I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
books that I've tried to read that are thick are full of just like fluff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
We're not selling pages here.
Get to the point.
Yeah, we're selling tangible advice and information that can actually really help someone.
Exactly.
I do
Which,
appreciate
that's
that.
what's in here. And the
Especially
last
for someone
couple
like
pages,
me who has a
yeah.
hard time reading. Like, I don't want to sit here and fucking read about, you know, what. Like, just tell me. Tell me how to be successful.
I'm not going to tell you. You got to get the book.
Well,
you
I
got
mean,
to
the
get
book
the
is
book.
the book is telling me. Read the book if you want it to tell you how to be successful.
But also, just please note this print is very small, and I have to fix that.
You
But
can fix that in post.
I will do that.
I'll zoom the camera in and out hard. So
I
people
will
are
do
like,
that.
"Oh,
But just check this out, right? Look at all these resources I have.
dang,
So like, there's pages on pages of resources that you can use that are like real
references.
time.
You referenced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like not just the references,
Did you go to college?
actual
You
resources.
went to college, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've got half a master's.
You're educated.
But
You're
half-
educated and strong. Look at that. Can you guys see those abs? You guys see those abs? It's a small picture, but they're there. Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that because you should
like
always, and in my thing,
Yeah.
I trust everything that is in here is real, but I always encourage people to question.
oh, absolutely. Always question it. And always when you're reading through this stuff, if you read it, hopefully you do. If not, whatever. But if you read through it, research it.
Yeah.
That's
and
like
you can research it easily.
Exactly.
with
I've got the
motherfucking
links in
references.
there.
Come on, guys.
So you can research it and you can see if the resources, like there's different apps you can use, download.
Yeah.
If those work for you, great. If not, whatever. But these things really helped me in launching my gym. And if it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably still have it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna
So-
open another one. Don't you
Fingers
even
crossed.
worry about that. And you know, I think that it's cool because you said there's all kinds of different resources in here. I think one thing, and I take this into all aspects of life, is you should have multiple tools.
Mm-hmm.
And then whether you're going to use them at a certain point or not is completely dependent on if you want to or if it's going to benefit you. But having it, right?
Exactly.
Would you rather have it and then not have to use it?
Yeah. Exactly right.
Cool. So that's book one. That's when you were like, damn, you know what? I think a pretty good little motherfucking literature here. So I'm gonna go ahead. And sort of send that with some momentum and
Awesome.
create book number 2. Bam! And then I did Built to Pivot. And she is built to pivot because I'm gonna hear with some crazy shit here in a second. You guys are gonna see her reaction to
right.
my ludicrous questions that I'm gonna pop on her out of nowhere.
Ready?
But this book is all about being built to pivot. I'm gonna imagine. I haven't read it yet. God, you watched all my episodes and I hadn't even read. You have 2 books. I have like 13, 14 episodes. Like,
It's all
damn.
good.
But this print is
You can actually read this
you can
one.
read this one a little easier. Okay.
Easier.
And I don't have my reading glasses and I can still read it. But I'm gonna let you go ahead. This is on Amazon too, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Built to Pivot on Amazon, right there. Boom. That's the link that I'm pointing to. Tell me a little bit about being built to pivot.
Yeah, so Built to Pivot is kind of just about that entrepreneurial spirit, and it kind of goes through how, as a society, we tend to value people with one specialization over people who have multiple skill sets. Like a Renaissance man, like Da Vinci, right?
What? So hold on.
Artist and
I'm sorry to
anatomy. Yeah,
interrupt.
go.
You're telling me that as a society we kind of tend to value more specific.
Oh yeah, like a
skills
doctor or a
over-
scientist.
Sure, okay.
You know, like, oh my gosh, that person is so revered because they spent like 15 years in school to become an
Yeah.
attorney or a judge or
Okay,
a doctor.
Yeah, they're one thing that they do.
Yeah, and they're so good at that one thing, which is really great. Not to like
Yeah, we're not
ish
taking
on
anything
that.
away from
no,
anyone.
none of that. Not at all. Like, you spend the
I'm
time, you
not.
spend
She
the
might
money.
be, but I'm not taking anything away
I'm not
from
taking
you.
anything away from that. I think, and there's, all different kinds of people, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But, like, I think that there's something to be said about a person who is capable of committing to a career, and if ish hits the fan like COVID or the economy crashing, and you're able to take the skills that you have and pivot into something else to continue providing for yourself and your family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
instead of like, oh my gosh, I put all my eggs in this one basket and now I'm effed. You know what I mean?
And I can't pivot. I don't know how to pivot.
Yeah. So it's basically just about like how I've taken the skills that I've learned from getting my undergrad, half of a master's degree, working through hospitality, photography, massage therapy, my gym, life coaching, all of that, and how I'm actually able to utilize all of those skills in each endeavor that I pursue. So, am I overly ambitious? Perhaps, but you know what? At the same time,
I mean,
I'm utilizing all these
relatively,
skills. So.
You know, I've had, you know, a lot of people on this show and zero authors. Well, one author, you know. Uncle
Yeah,
David.
I saw.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah, Dave.
David!
So, cool, fun little fact. We're actually family. I mean, step. We're going to say step twice or three times removed. However, it doesn't matter. She was there when I was born. Tight knit. Okay, that's all you guys need to know. But David is also part of that family.
He is.
And I might have another guest on the show appearing soon that is also part of that family.
Oh, good.
I don't want to spoil. I don't do spoilers.
No spoiler.
My only rule is that there's no rules. Rule number 2, no spoilers.
No rules unless there's rules.
So I think the point that I was trying to, you know, illustrate by sort of segueing into that is that I think overly is a relative term. And would you be? Yeah, because not everybody's that ambitious. I think that's great. And I think you should think that's great.
I do. I'm not mad about it.
I wish I was you.
Why would you say
I'm
that?
just kidding. No, but you're inspiring. You're inspiring.
Well, you inspire me too, so it goes both ways.
Well, thank you.
I mean,
do
look at you
appreciate that.
doing this here. This is really cool.
Yeah, it's whatever.
And I saw in one of your episodes that you were trying to like capture these moments for your kids to look back on, which I thought was really cool.
That's the main thing for me.
Because I watched.
And so when my kids grow up and they actually, you know, were like, damn, who was my dad? Because he died in some super cool way when he was like 43, and I want to know
It's
more
very
about
specific.
him. Boom, let's go to episode 15, Lynn Holly. Oh, you know what? She's still here and she's kind of fucking cool. And then now, closer bond with, you know, nephews, twice removed, step.
Cousins also. Step.
But yeah, no, joking, all jokes aside, that is kind of the idea here. And really, I'm going to go ahead and segue this. I think the timer shut off, but I'm feeling like we're at a good point where I can start getting into this section. The whole idea for me is, you know, and we've talked about this personally outside of any kind of studio setting. In the last, I would say, year, I've really been on sort of a journey to seek my own spiritual understanding and concept of creation and our place, so to speak, in the universe. And I really, really appreciate all the different kind of insights that I've heard from people and I've seen some from people, and so inspiring. Like last episode, I told this guy, I was like, I think it's so cool because, like, you know, we have all these ideas about what happens when we die, but none of us really fucking know. And he was like, well, I respect that, but I do know. And it gave me chills. I was like, oh my God. You know, I've heard so many cool things, and I know that I'm just going to assume by the conversations that we had that you have a really strong spiritual kind of connection to God or your understanding of God. And that's really the main reason I wanted to bring you here and talk about it. Unless there's anything else that we need to talk about here, because I think the people probably have a good idea now of who you are.
Sure.
Is there anything we're missing?
No.
Okay.
I'll put these aside.
I mean, you can. We can even prop them up if you want. You got a huge book there. You can prop them up. It doesn't matter. But I think understanding a little bit about, you know, who you are, your work ethic, your ambition, you know, your obvious stage charisma, all ties into kind of, you know, who you are. And I want to ask, now that we know, what is God to you? Who is God? What is your understanding of God? Tell me about that.
Okay. So who is God to me? So God is this infinite being that like underpins our existence, our morality, and like the universe basically.
Okay.
And like understanding who God is combines faith, historical documentation, and like rational inquiry, which I feel like you do, which is really great.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I was raised in church, so I was raised as a Baptist, and went to a private Baptist school my freshman year of university, Bethel University up in St. Paul. I only lived there for a year, but yeah, go ahead.
For the for the people that might not understand, Baptist, that falls under the sort of category Christian.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's like multiple denominations under Christianity.
Okay.
Baptist is one of them.
Cool.
I'm presently more charismatic, Pentecostal, I guess.
Pentecostal.
Charismatic.
Subdivision. Okay.
Non-denominational.
I sometimes pretend when I hear a big word that I already know what it means, but I have never heard that word before.
No, it's all good.
Pentecostal. Tell me, teach me.
Well, kind of like, more charismatic. So growing up Baptist, just so that there's an understanding, it's just way more conservative. Like, women are very submissive, like, don't really have like a prominent role in the household except for doing like housewife stuff.
Yeah.
Which I absolutely value.
Sure.
And
but we can see from your introduction that that's not who you are.
Anymore. I aspired.
Okay.
When I was a younger person, I aspired to do that because I found deep value in it.
Okay.
Life kind of throws you curveballs, so you got to pivot.
Sure. No, I love this.
So
this is awesome.
Yeah. So, I've just kind of allowed myself some grace to explore and expand on that.
What was the reaction from your church or your family, friends, in that kind of decision to move away from what you've been practicing?
So I'm gonna share some deeper stuff. Okay. So in my early 20s,
we don't edit. We don't edit.
In my early 20s, after going to Bethel, and then I transferred to Metro State in Denver, and then I transferred down to Durango because the person I was dating at the time, his mom had committed suicide, and she was like a second mom to me.
Damn.
And it was just kind of like chaotic and stuff. So
yeah.
Moved down there, and then when I was down there, unfortunately was sexually assaulted and was just kind of lost. Sure. And trying to like cope in ways that probably weren't the healthiest, like drinking a lot and like numbing myself that way, and became agnostic, so I didn't really believe. I wasn't like, is there a God? Is there not a God? That's kind of where I was at. I was like, there could be, there could not be.
Put it on the back burner.
Yeah. I'm just gonna survive. And somebody that I had grown up with in the church had messaged me and was like, some of the posts that you're making on Facebook, like, you're not welcome in my house, blah, blah. And
they said that you're not welcome because of what you're posting? Wow.
Which, like the way we were raised, like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
From what you describe in a Baptist community.
Yeah. Like, I was upset about it when I was younger at that time. But, hindsight 2020, and like developing insight and wisdom as you grow and age and go through experiences, I'm not mad about it. Like, I get it. I get where they're coming from. At the same time, like, I replied and was like, what I know about Jesus and what I know about God, that is not... I was like, you know what? I don't care what you go through, and I know you're going to go through something eventually in this life. My door is always going to be open to you, because that is what I know God as. God is extending grace. God extends love. God extends forgiveness and goodness, regardless of us.
I mean, even to the layman, who hasn't really researched any part of that religion, that's kind of the idea, right?
Right.
Forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like Jesus, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he die for our sins?
100%.
Okay, cool.
That is the thing.
Yeah. So it seems almost a little hypocritical.
Yeah.
To sort of put some kind of standard on that.
Yeah. But to circle back to that situation, why that also solidified my doubt at the time is because my faith was in other people. It wasn't in God at that point.
Yeah.
And I allowed that to impact my spiritual walk. And so, flash forward to like early 30s, coming back around, I realized that my faith is in God, not in other people. And my story's not unique. Like, I've watched people who've talked on your show, like, I'm not the only person who's been scorned by somebody else in the religious community. That's
Sure.
pretty much the standard, it seems. And unfortunately, unfortunately, there are a lot of hypocritical people. I'm sure I've been hypocritical too. I'm human. That's human nature, right?
Absolutely.
We're not supposed to be perfect. We aren't perfect. We never will be perfect. So
Yeah.
that's why we need God's grace. That's why we need to extend grace to each other, because we're all just on this journey learning and growing. And so, that was probably the biggest lesson that I learned is I can't put my faith in other people because I'm going to be disappointed no matter what if I do that. But if I put my faith in God and Jesus Christ, I'm going to be taken care of, regardless of me, because God is beyond anything any of us could really comprehend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you think
That's
of
why
like,
I love that question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of inspired that shift back into having faith in God again?
So I'm going to share something else that I haven't really talked about a lot.
Okay. Well, you don't don't
And
feel
I won't tell the
obligated to have
time period of this. It wasn't recent.
to. Sure.
But I was in a really bad place, and it was like 3 a.m. and I was wasted by myself. And I went outside just like feeling totally empty, and this like random dude came up, and like I'm pretty sure that he was like trying to rob me. I don't know, but I was like, just shoot me. I just started like begging him to take me out because I was like, I don't even want to live anymore. Just shoot me. Just kill me. It's fine. This is fine. I can die right here. This is
Yeah.
fine. And instead of getting aggressive and mean, he was like, let me buy you some food. I'm like,
Whoa.
okay. And I'm just like crying, like, I hate this life. And he was just like extending grace and kindness to me, even though I don't think that was his intention.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was kind of like a wake-up call for me. Like, you know what? I feel like God showed up in a really unique way for me that day.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really valuing life at that point. And somebody else who may not have been in the best place either
Sure.
was able to pull me back into
Yeah.
reality, which was really cool, actually.
That
It's a
is really
shift.
cool. I love those stories.
Yeah.
That is like my favorite thing. Like if I could just get a whole bunch of episodes of stories like that, you know, like
Yeah.
the wake up call or maybe God
Yeah.
reaching out. I don't know. How can I say, you know?
Right.
But it's beautiful. Such a small moment, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And in hindsight, how long did it take, you know, in comparison to the timeline of your life?
Yeah.
For that one thing to happen, and like what has come from that?
Oh gosh, like my whole entire mindset has changed. I've just kind of circled back to like really who I am as a
Yeah.
person, which is awesome. And why I credit that moment to God is because, you know, I don't feel shame about it. Like it was a tough time,
Yeah.
but I felt like peace and like love, you know? That may sound really weird, but
No, that's
it was
awesome.
really
That sounds beautiful.
amazing experience, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't know where that person
From a
is.
stranger,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly right.
That's
like
fucking awesome.
exactly.
I love that.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm in
Wow.
a better place now.
Wherever, stranger, wherever you are,
Yes.
maybe it wasn't even. Maybe it was an angel.
It could have been.
I've heard some stories that would make me feel like a fool to doubt things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. God, I love that.
Yeah. It was really cool.
So, your religious journey has never been linear.
No.
It's been a
Oh, yeah.
constant.
Ups and downs all over the place.
Yeah. Where are you at now?
I'm actually in a really good place.
Okay.
So Laura,
Yeah.
common family member.
Cousin, niece, aunt.
Step.
Step. Don't forget the step, guys. Do not forget that step.
So we went to that family reunion this last year, and she like invited all of us to church, and it's that church City Point in Loveland.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And
I've
so
heard.
yeah, I've been inviting him every week
Every
since,
single
for like the
week.
last since August.
And I have been respectfully declining.
Zero times.
But if she doesn't
Someday.
if she doesn't invite me, I get sad. Like if a Sunday goes by and I don't get a text or call, I'm like, what the fuck? Did she give up?
It's
on
only
me?
been twice.
Did you give up on me
I
already?
think only 2 Sundays I haven't.
Okay, well, while this is fresh on my mind,
Yeah.
I think God is beautiful, whether you agree with or believe in a certain denomination or sect, right?
Absolutely.
I've seen, maybe it's Laura's fault, maybe whatever. My family. I've
Yeah.
seen my family more, and I have a strong inkling that it has something to do with the church.
Yeah.
And that you guys are all going, you guys are all getting closer. I mean, I've seen you guys like 4 times this year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you 1 time in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I think we
Like
all...
the last 10 maybe.
Yeah, all right. But it's been kind of like that, you know. It's
Yeah.
been kind of like you talked about your, you know, your time, you know, in that agnostic phase where you sort of just put it on the back burner. Like, sure, we're aware, but we're not always acknowledging or appreciating the presence of a higher being,
Right.
as it were. And I think it's so cool that we're seeing each other for cousins' birthdays or almost nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, because the first time we really got back together, it was for nothing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a birthday. It wasn't a holiday. It was just like, hey, let's just get together. And then after that, it's been like, wow, this is cool. And like, all you guys are going to church without me.
Except for you're invited every week.
I know, I'm invited. And I'm going to go eventually, as long as you keep asking me. But I think it's really cool, and I love that. And you can deny God or even, you know, scoff at the idea, but there's no denying that, you know, evidence that something is happening because of it.
Absolutely.
Family, you know,
Yeah.
that's just one family. Our family is just one.
Yeah.
How many other families
Oh, so
are,
many.
are brought, you know, closer
Yeah.
because of, you know, one common belief?
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And I love that.
And this place is literally life-changing. Like, the first time I went there, they have pastors that are at the front, and they did, like, hands-on prayer,
Yeah.
and it was just, like, life-changing.
Well, the way you've explained it doesn't give me like Baptist vibes, like the
No.
church you described earlier.
They do baptisms, but they do, like, Holy Spirit baptisms,
Yeah.
and, like, it's more, like, vibrant, to circle back to your
Like they
question,
would let
between...
someone like me in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool.
They would let anybody in. Like,
Okay. That's
And
cool.
I mean, that's the thing, like, I was gonna just, I don't know how people are gonna feel about this comment, but I feel like religion is kind of just something that we as humans do to explain God, you know? Not
Okay.
necessarily who God is.
Yeah.
It's just a way for our brains to comprehend the concept of God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, 100%.
Whereas, like, when you encounter God and the Holy Spirit in the way that you can, it just breaks those barriers down. Does that make sense?
How do you explain a concept like that?
Yeah.
That's so profound and infinite that like we can't even really capture it. Like, have you ever sat down and thought about forever? Like, just thought about like how long forever is? Did you
Yeah.
ever do that as a kid and just like end
I
up
still do
tripping
that.
yourself out? Like, what the fuck? Like, it never stops.
Exactly.
Those kind of concepts are not, I don't think, meant for us to be able to grasp.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I don't know if you're gonna like get in trouble for saying that. I don't know. I've never fashioned myself as a religious person, but I could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate all your insight. This is fucking perfect example of why I wanted to do this. This is great. I feel like we hit it. We did it. We hit the nail on the head.
Hey, great job.
Is there anything else? Any burning desires, as I like to say? If you could go back in time and tell yourself when you most needed to hear it, anything, what would it be?
Oh, gosh.
Quick, you got 7 seconds.
Hey, you know what?
I'm just kidding.
It's going to be okay.
It's gonna be okay.
Just pick yourself up. Keep walking forward.
Hell yeah.
And there's no better time than right now to start whatever your ambitions are. Just
The only
do
better
it.
time is yesterday.
Exactly right.
Damn. Yes. All right. Well, Lynn, Holly, LH,
Austin,
thank you so much for being on the show. God damn.
God bless you
We're
guys.
just so we're just so happy to have you. And
Hey, thank you.
And that was great. Good job.
Thanks for having me. I
All
appreciate
right,
you.
one more up top. I never do high fives, by the way. I just want to let that know.
I'm extra special, you
The
guys.
guest is always right. Okay, so don't be seeing me in the street and trying to give me a high five. I do knuckles. And on that note, Josh, we good? We're doing an outro? We're doing an outro. That's it. Bye forever. Until next time. And remember, goddamn.
God bless!